Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to another pick a card reading here at Transform with Rian. And I'd like to do a reading for you all today to find out what you are manifesting. So I'm going to start with getting some options out for you. We're just going to pick some doorway images here, not so much focusing on the message behind each doorway, but just more which doorway are you being drawn to that will help us understand what you are currently manifesting. So thankfully that went by pretty quickly, and we have three options here. This is your first option, so doorway number one for what you are manifesting. And this is doorway number two for what you are manifesting. And we have doorway number three for what you are manifesting. So a lot of earthy tones here, which I think is totally appropriate for our conversation, because manifestation is all about bringing everything from sort of the mental, spiritual, energetic realm into the physical dimension. So those are your three options. I'll have them shown on the thumbnail as well. And if you need a few moments to meditate and see if 1, 2, 3 is calling to you the most, please go ahead and pause the video to take a moment to do so and choose whenever you are ready. But why don't we start with doorway number one. So, welcome, doorway number one, to your Pick a Card Tarot reading to find out what you are currently manifesting. So, once again, here is your doorway just to make sure you are in the right part of the video. And let's get some tea leaf cards to start off your reading to get a sense of what you are manifesting, because I feel like there are going to be maybe a couple of options based on what you chose, because this is a general reading. But I'm also feeling here that there's probably like a bigger picture that's interweaving a lot of these things together. And just now I'm hearing from Spirit that as part of this reading, these tea leaf cards will also help identify some maybe signs that you are on the right path, or that the manifestation is getting closer. All right, so the first card that came out that kind of flipped is gavel, involvement with the law. So let's go ahead and flip all of these out. I'm already getting some messages, but I'd like to try and flip all of these cards and work with all of their energies together first. You also actually got month of the year, which is December. And your three other cards, we have Fox, we also have Peacock, and we also have Table. So what I'm already sensing for many of you is that there is some sort of legal situation that perhaps you have been involved in, or maybe for some of you it's not so much legal, like you're having to go to court, but sort of a misunderstanding, and maybe it can even be addressed outside of court. Like for example, maybe you are disputing a charge on your credit card and it's taking a long time for you to get that resolved between your bank and the other company. Maybe for some of you it's about getting like a down payment or a deposit back for something. I know when you rent a car, for example, like you put a down payment or a what is the term that they use? You put a deposit down for any potential damages, and then that generally isn't charged to your card right away, and then you get that money back as long as the car is returned in good condition. So some type of deposit. For some of you, I'm also hearing that it could even be something to do with like a contract fulfillment. So you agreed that you would pay this much to receive these items, these services, and then you're waiting to get everything back, and maybe it's taking a little bit longer than you would have thought. And so there's this maybe like threat or option of taking legal action because the other party is not following through on their end, or they're, you know, dawdling. They're going really slowly to, they're dragging their feet. Oh my God, that's the phrase I was looking for. They're kind of like dragging their feet to provide you with all the goods and the services that were agreed upon in your contract, right? Like, I don't know, maybe you hired somebody to design your logo and design the layout for a magazine or your website, something like that, right? And it's like they're taking a lot longer than the agreed time frame per the contract. And so understandably, maybe you're a bit upset or frustrated about it, and you're like, I don't know how else to get them to focus in and get the work done, since it's already late and overdue. So I feel like there's some of this energy happening here. And um, I feel like what's manifesting here is a resolution, okay? I'm hearing that some maybe like new idea, new approach, new argument is like coming through to further solidify your case, further solidify your point, or it could even be that your message is finally getting through. Like people are taking you seriously, and you know, unfortunately, with you feeling like you're at the end of the line as far as like what you can do on your own, and threatening to involve the law or take legal action is kind of that fire that's going to be sparked for them to actually get into gear and handle their business and come through. You know, I'm also now hearing that for some of you, it may even have to do with like legal separation. Okay. Um, Either I'm hearing for some of you it's like a business, like maybe dissolving a business, ending a partnership, and like dividing the assets equally. And for others of you, it could even be related to sort of a divorce, legal separation. So you're manifesting a resolution, all right? In case that wasn't clear, let me just make it very clear. You're manifesting a resolution. And for many of you, it looks like it's going to finally be like completely and fully wrapped up at the time frame surrounding December. Of course, this can move around, this can wiggle. So I'm hearing from Spirit, it could be like plus minus a month, right? So it's sort of that November, December, January time frame is when things are finally going to be finalized. The connections are going to be fully severed, and everyone's going to be able to go their separate ways. No energetic ties, no more legal ties and links connecting the two of you together. So everyone's going to have to come to the table here and come to a resolution, come to for sure agreed upon, I guess, closure, right? Where so everybody's like, the decision is being made. This is what you're taking. This is what you're taking. This is what you're doing. This is what I'm doing, to finally cut ties. Okay, so there's definitely this energy I'm hearing of like an ending. And as I say that, I'm looking at your cards with this gavel card here. I'm sort of hearing that, you know, and like that's sort of either the judge saying like order in the court, order in the court, or they're just hitting that gavel to say like, this is the decision that I've made. There is no further argument. There is nothing else to be done here. Everyone's moving forward now. Everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, right? So I do sense this finality coming through. I definitely feel like this energy that this is something that might have been a bit frustrating for many of you, and very, again, drawn out, dragged on, and you're just ready to have it done with, okay? So let's see what else. I feel like Spirit has some more information here regarding this. Something that you need to know. What else do you need to know? Like tips and tricks to perhaps help this manifestation along. So I was talking about signs, and so what I'm hearing is that fox and peacock are going to be sort of your signs from the universe that everything is finally coming together, that things are about to close off, right? So either you're seeing a fox or a peacock like on a t-shirt, on a television ad, in a book, or there's some reference to that. Okay, so it's not like you actually physically have to see the animal live and in front of you of a fox or a peacock. Could also be a picture or just a reference in writing to this, or in maybe even in conversation, you know? So what else does Spirit have to say? 8 of Coins. The High Priestess. Oh wow, the Devil. I feel like this is also kind of linked to the Fox card. And we have the Ace of Coins. There you go. There's that new beginning, okay? So moving forward now, closing off one chapter, beginning a new one. So what I'm seeing first of all, because we have this Fox and this Devil card coming through, I feel like someone was trying to be really sneaky. I think it's a bit split, okay? So I have for some of you, part of my little online community here, energetic community, is the other party was trying to be sneaky, trying to be crafty. They were maybe trying to have their cake and eat it too, like they were trying to pull a few tricks to take more than what is their fair share, or to do less than what was agreed upon, but take, that same amount of money type of thing. So there's someone that was on the other side that was trying to take like shortcuts, okay, trying to be slick, trying to create sort of an unequal energy exchange, right? But on the flip side, I hear for some of you, especially if that wasn't the case, that you will have to be a little bit sneaky yourself, right? And so, what do I mean by being sneaky? I don't mean doing something like shady and wrong, but sometimes when we do these kind of negotiations, some people put all their cards on the table, right? And then that helps the other side do a little bit more strategizing. And what I feel like, it's kind of like a good game of poker, right? You have to hold your cards close to your chest, and you have to have kind of a good poker face on. I also feel like, with chess, it's kind of the same thing, where maybe you would make a feint in this direction, or lead people to think you're going in this route, and then you kind of surprise them and come out. Like, I'm hearing the word tactics, okay? That there's going to be this need for you to employ certain tactics to kind of throw the opposition off their game, okay? And then kind of maybe lull them into a sense of security, or a cockiness, right? Like we have this peacock. So making them think like they've already won, or they're getting their way, and then you're like, nope, actually, I didn't reveal my wild card, my secret technique to kind of ensure that everything is fair and I get what I'm due. You know what I'm saying? Because again, someone's being really sneaky here. And so you're manifesting as well this fair resolution, okay? Because you are drawn to this reading, I feel like many of you that are drawn to my channel are beings who have a higher vibrational frequency and are not, sneaky and lower vibe, where you're trying to manipulate and betray people, things like that. And so I get the sense that instead, sometimes people try to be sneaky, betray, and manipulate you. And what I'm seeing here is, oh, wow. And what I'm feeling just now is like your guides and your guardians, whether that's your ancestors, your angels, spirit guides, archangels, whoever you generally work with, are looking out for you, and they're sort of giving you the signs, giving you the knowledge, the people, maybe the resources to help you ensure that things are fair for you, okay? That no one is taking more than what they're due, and that anyone that's trying to be sneaky is going to be exposed, and their plan is going to backfire, okay? So that's definitely what I'm feeling here. I'm seeing here with the 8 of Coins as well, to be very mindful and considerate of every move that you make. And again, with this card, I'm also seeing here, because this is a card of being, a student, being a learner. But what's very interesting here is there's no teacher present. It's just the student that's practicing and training on their own, And so what I feel like this is saying is, again, don't lay out all your cards on the table. Like, only inform the people that are involved in this with what you're thinking, what you have. So keep a very like tight-lipped approach to this. I've heard this a lot with manifestation, so I kind of want to pass this along to you as well. Is, as you are envisioning things and you're manifesting, it's not important to share all of your manifestations with other people, because then when you kind of share it, it's like you're putting all your cards out on the table, right? And then everyone else that you share this with kind of puts their energy into your manifestation, which could be beneficial or detrimental, right? And so sometimes it's really important to keep your manifestations and goals to yourself and work on them in private and silently, and then allow you to be sort of that creative force, the creative leader, and the director of how these energies will go. Let me know in the comments down below if you've heard that before. But that was something that really resonate with me when I first heard that, because I like sharing things with the people closest to me and the ones that I love. And sometimes when you mix that energy with creating this manifestation together, there are like some wrenches that get thrown into the mix and kind of put a kink to the plans and affect it, and again, it's not always with the worst of intentions that happens. It's just everyone's bringing their own belief systems and limitations into your manifestation. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you tell your family members, like, oh, I want to be an artist, I'm going to take an art class. And sometimes they're supportive, which is beautiful. And other times they're like, are you sure you're able to be an artist? Like, I feel like artists really struggle for money and blah, 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 blah. And they bring that belief into your manifestation and make it a little bit more challenging for you to bring into reality. Does that make sense? So I think it's very important for you to keep your cards close to your chest, to keep your ideas on a strictly need to know basis, okay? And trust your intuition here, all right? And with this High Priestess card, what I'm really feeling here is, again, going back to yourself and focusing more on your vision, what you need, and not letting other people influence it, okay? This is trusting your connection with the divine, with your guides, with your inner voice as to what you should be doing, all right? And that helps when you don't share it with other people, because then once you share it with other people, whether you ask for their advice or not, they're gonna try to give it to you, and then that might make you doubt what you want to do or doubt your stance. And what I'm seeing here is there's no room for doubt on your end, okay? Don't doubt this manifestation, that justice will be served, that everyone will get what they are due, So that's what you're manifesting, a resolution to a pretty sticky situation is what it sounds like. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope this was helpful, and I hope this gave you a little bit of guidance on how to move forward to bring this manifestation into reality. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you enjoyed my reading style and would like to see more readings from me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. But until next time, I will see you all later. Take care. Best of luck with everything. Hello there, group number 2. Welcome to your pick a card reading for today on finding out what you are manifesting, what is currently coming your way. So this is the doorway that you were drawn to, just to remind you. And I trust that actually for those of you drawn to this card, I see this moon here now, and that Spirit wants you to know to trust whatever messages you are receiving right now as you gaze at this doorway here, okay? Because I'm seeing many of you that were drawn to this card are actually very powerful intuitives. And so even though I am part of the messenger here, that you are also receiving your own messages. So really tune into that, all right? Now let's draw some more cards here. Let's start with some tea leaf cards. Okay, oops, there goes that one. And let me just grab that. And let's see what else wants to come out for you. Like what you need to know about this manifestation coming up. Okay, that one wanted to be a part of this as well. So the one that fell on the floor to kind of kick us off is a boat. So here's the image right here. And let's take a look at your other cards. We have purse. You also have rooster. You have flowers. And you have bird, flying. So firstly, I see here that these items, particularly bird, flowers, and rooster, but very strongly bird, is going to be a sign for you as you move towards this manifestation. Seeing birds, especially a bird that has meaning to you, right? I know very kind of popular birds as it comes for signs from spirit is like hummingbird, falcon or hawk or eagle. Like those are very, very popular birds to sort of be messengers from spirit to let you know that you're on the right track, that things are sort of falling into place for you, okay? And as you can see here, even on this flowers card, so you have rooster and bird, right? But even on this flowers card, there's a bird here. And maybe for some of you, like a crow or a raven might be a bird of significance for you as well, as a sign from spirit and your guides that you are moving in the right direction, that things are maybe going according to divine plan, divine timing, that type of thing, okay? So what messages do I have here? I'm hearing from many of you that you perhaps have been manifesting some form of travel and it's coming together. For some of you, it's a vacation, which I think is well earned, well deserved. I know, as we're moving out of this time of the pandemic, that a lot of people are looking forward to traveling now, right? If you haven't already. So perhaps some of you have been saving up money to take a holiday or vacation somewhere. I'm hearing that many of you, the past few years have maybe instilled a sense of YOLO, you only live once kind of vibe, and that, working your butt off isn't necessarily the answer to create a balanced, happy, and fulfilling life, that you also need to have a little bit of fun, that life isn't all about work, save, count the pennies kind of thing, that it's okay to treat yourself, right? And I'm hearing that many of you perhaps previously you just thought like, oh, I don't have enough vacation time, I don't have enough money to go on this vacation or travel abroad. And I feel like you've really wanted to do that. And this opportunity, this manifestation is being brought to reality for you to do so, okay? So for some of you, it's traveling abroad. Maybe some of you have always wanted to go somewhere in Europe or somewhere in Asia. Those are very popular destinations, right? Maybe some of you have wanted to go to a tropical island to really relax, enjoy the sun, enjoy some beach time, some delicious, fresh tropical fruits, you know what I'm saying? And this opportunity is coming, okay? I feel here with this, pay attention to your finances, that the money that you need to save to finance this trip and such is going to come to you. It's going to happen, okay? I'm seeing here that you are being blessed and protected from any unexpected expenditures that might take away from your vacation fund, for example, all right? So don't worry, you will get this break. Everything will be okay. I feel like this plan for travel and vacation is almost divinely protected, just because I feel many of you that were drawn to this card are hard workers. And sometimes with that Western mentality, we don't know when to take a break, or we feel like we don't deserve to take a break, or we're not allowed to, because we need to just keep working hard and creating and putting out a lot of product and getting a lot of work output. Do you know what I'm saying? Productivity, right? Oh my gosh, I almost just like cringed saying that word, like productivity goals. Like, oh, it's almost like slavery in a way, that word, right? The way it's being used lately. Um, I'm also hearing for some of you actually that this has to do with a move for work, okay? I know for myself, like moving abroad for work was like a big goal and a dream for me. It's one of the regrets I've had in my life, which I don't have many because now that I kind of understand that life is a journey and that I can trust in my guides and spirits to lead the way for me and protect my journey forward, I don't have many regrets, right, from the past. But the one regret I do have is not studying abroad in college or university days. And so that was something I wanted to do now as a working adult, is like live and work abroad. And that manifested for me. And I'm seeing this with this boat card here because it's making me think of like fresh off the boat, which is, there's also this Nelly Furtado song, fresh off the boat. I'm fresh off the boat. Yeah, fresh off the boat. Fresh off the boat. Querida menina, better do ma. Querida menina, better do ma. Querida menina, better do ma, yeah. Oh my gosh, that song is so fun. So maybe you should go give it a listen, and it might inspire you. Like the beats and the tones and all that might inspire you and get you like excited about this opportunity abroad, traveling abroad, that type of thing. So fresh off the boat, Nelly Furtado, by the way, because you know I love my music, and I feel like my life and everyone else's life can be a soundtrack, you know. Um, but I feel for many of you this opportunity abroad, like as I'm looking at the bottom, like I didn't feel as drawn to read the bottom, but it says money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. So I know a lot of people, when they get hired for a job overseas, like you get a moving stipend or like a sign on bonus, something like that. So I feel like that's definitely in the realm of possibilities for those of you that were drawn to this card. I know when I moved to where I'm at now, in New Zealand, I did get like a moving stipend to kind of help me get settled here. So I feel for many of you that definitely moving is something for work, is what you are manifesting. We have the boat here, so I feel that can represent, again, that traditional immigration type vibe, but maybe moving, having things shipped overseas or somewhere else within your country for your new home and your new job. But also we have bird, which literally says here flying. So that could definitely be referencing you flying, taking airplane to go abroad versus, you know, maybe renting like a U-Haul and packing up your things and driving across the country or whatever. Okay, let's get some more information here from your guides and from spirit about this manifestation. So travel, you know, I'm all for that vacation vibes for many of you. Why does spirit have so many cards? Okay, is there any other ones? Wow, you guys got a lot of cards. So let's go through this. So the one that flipped out here is Ten of Wands. So for many of you, this is a new chapter, okay? This is, in a way, an expansion because you're moving. You're going to physically a different location. And again, even with vacationing, I get for many of you, this is a new place you haven't been to before. So with going to new places physically, doing new things, again, getting a new job, visiting a new land, it changes us fundamentally, right? Travel, I think, is one of the greatest ways for growth because you start to see and experience different ways of living and existing in the world, especially if you travel to a place where the culture is very different from your culture that you grew up with, you know? Let's see, what else do you have here? Nine of Coins. Look at that. This represents stability. So again, your plans are not going to be ruined. Like your plans for traveling abroad, moving abroad, vacationing abroad is going to be fully protected here. This is a card of a lot of stability and also wealth, okay? Wealth through hard work. We have the Knight of Wands, Knight of Coins. So knights speak to movement, okay? Getting things done. And oftentimes, too, knights are sent abroad, to other lands, um, to other peoples, other countries, other communities. Oh my gosh, you have Ace of Coins. Group number one had Ace of Coins as well. So if you were kind of torn between group one and group two, there might be a message in reading number one that is pertinent to you as well. So you can listen to that afterward. We have Page of Cups, Death. There you go. There's that ending again. So you have that skull there and the skull that was here on the Ten of Wands. And that's actually reminding me, I went to an art walk with one of my friends yesterday, and one of my favorite pieces at the art walk was this wooden skull that was separated in half, and inside was this fine woodwork of a labyrinth. And so there are a lot of like different floors. There's like a little desk and workshop and ladders and stairs kind of leading. So it's almost like this, house within the skull's head. It was very, very cool. I didn't actually take pictures while I was at the art walk, which was kind of different for me because usually I do take a lot of photos when I go out and go to events and things like that. But I just felt like I needed to be in the moment and experience the art. But it would have been cool to kind of like share that with you all. But I'll just have to kind of be in your imagination, unfortunately. So what I'm seeing here, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's important for you to be reminded and then have this knowledge with you if you're not familiar with it, that your ideas are the starting point for manifestation. So once you have this idea and it feels right, it feels aligned in spirit here, that you can bring it into reality, that it doesn't just have to be an idea or a thought, that you can definitely make it happen. You just have to have the will and the desire as well as aligned action to make it a reality, right? And all of us have hundreds and thousands of ideas every single day, but not all of them get to sort of see the light of day, if you will. So it's very important for you to, whichever idea feels the most important to you right now, whichever idea feels just right, to take action towards bringing it into reality. It reminds me of one of my friends where when I was in high school and we were talking about getting a part-time job, because that's kind of what the cool thing to do when you're in high school is, when you're old enough to get a job, is get a job so you have money so you can go to movies, pay for gas, go to concerts, do whatever with your friends, right? And one of my friends was like, oh, I'm going to get a job at, I don't even remember, like some department store. Nordstrom's or whatever. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a job at Nordstrom's. And I was like, oh yeah, really? You have an interview or you got hired? And she's like, well, not exactly. I still have to fill out my application. But yeah, I'm gonna get a job at Nordstrom's. And it's like, okay, I'm not saying you can't get a job at Nordstrom's, but how is Nordstrom supposed to know that you're interested in working there if you didn't even put in an application? You know what I'm saying? How are they going to know to call you, contact you for an interview if they don't have your number because you didn't apply? So that's what I mean by, when you have an idea, like, take aligned actions toward that idea if it's something you feel very strongly about. So if you've wanted to travel abroad, like, yo, you gotta buy that plane ticket, you gotta request the time off from work, you have to take those actions to bring it closer into being a reality. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the whole point of me talking about that piece of art. And surprise, surprise, loves, you also have another Knight card that came out here, the Knight of Swords. So definitely a lot of movement, a lot of exploration to new territories, new lands, new experiences, okay? I'm hearing too, it's going to be a very emotionally rich experience for you because we have the Page of Cups. I feel like new feelings, new insights are coming through for you with this Page of Cups. Because what's interesting is you have all four elements here with the court cards. You have the Knight of Wands, Knight of Coins, Knight of Swords. But it's the Page of Cups that represents the cups energy and sort of like the odd one out of those four. And so what I'm seeing here is with the Knight of Swords, there's this idea. With the Knight of Wands, you feel very passionate about this idea, and with the Knight of Coins, you're taking physical action, aligned action towards it. And with the Page of Cups, this to me is saying something new. Something emotionally new is coming into your life, and it's going to be very enriching. It's going to be very eye-opening for you because we have this little bunny there at the bottom. And that's what I feel about, taking this chance and this big step by going somewhere abroad, someplace unknown in a way and unfamiliar to you. How transformative that can be in such a positive way. Like, I know when I first traveled abroad to the Philippines, it really gave me an appreciation for a lot of the comforts that I had growing up in America, and how I did have a lot of opportunity being in America, compared to some of my relatives who still lived in the provinces in the Philippines. So it helped me become more humble and more grateful for the blessings that I had in my life, and before I took a lot of things for granted. So I feel like that's an experience that a lot of people have when they travel abroad is either a greater appreciation for what you do have, and or sort of this humbleness that, there are other ways of doing things that may actually be better than the way that you have been doing things, based on your culture and upbringing that you've been taught to do. So I think those are wonderful things, and I feel like this sort of opening and this awakening happening within you that's going to be enriching. So we have like this financial enrichment for some of you, but I'm seeing this emotional and spiritual enriching experience for you as well. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I'm wishing you safe travels, bon voyage. Please enjoy this well-earned time off, this well-earned opportunity. All right, let me know how you felt about your reading in the comments below. If you enjoyed any part of your reading, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you enjoy my readings and would appreciate more, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on. All right, loves, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Hello there, group number 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading for what you are currently manifesting. And just as a reminder, this is the doorway that you were drawn to. So I'm already feeling, which I didn't get as strongly necessarily from the other cards, but there's already this message of you sort of like coming into the light. I'm hearing that maybe some of you, there's been sort of this like dark night of the soul happening, dark night of the ego, as another YouTuber has called it before, Christina Lopez, yes. I really loved her video of like the stages of spiritual awakening. Definitely check that out. I think that was very enlightening and worth the watch. But I feel many of you have been going through, again, this very difficult, trying time, and there's this like kind of light at the end of the tunnel, okay? And I'm wondering what blessings are there for you at the end of this challenging journey, all right? So let's get started with some tea leaf cards to get some clues and some hints as to what this is about. And wow, Spirit is like, don't grab the other half of that deck because everything we need is in this part. So we have this outlier here that kind of like jumped towards the candle. So let's start here. Broken bridge. Ooh, interesting. Okay, let me reveal all of these because I'm already feeling a lot of strong messages for you. So I feel like there's this urgency of your message that's coming through from Spirit and your guides. But if you don't mind, let me pull out all of the cards so I can get a comprehensive picture here. So you also have Tankard, Crown, oh my gosh, look at these amazing messages already coming through. I've sensed so much good energy, so much good vibes. Purse, love it. This one actually came out in group too. Although I don't actually think just yet that there is a message for you in group two. It's just like sort of a coincidence. We have kangaroo. And we have dolphin. Nice. So I'm already wanting to pass on. There's been a lot of strong vibes from like animal messengers for these three readings, that seeing dolphin or kangaroo, again, it doesn't have to necessarily be like a real life actual dolphin or kangaroo before you. It could just be a picture of a dolphin or kangaroo. It could be something you see on television, something you read about, something that somebody mentions to you about dolphins or kangaroos, that will sort of be that sign to let you know, hey, things are right on track, everything is working out in divine timing according to the divine like master plan. So those particular animal messengers are going to be very important for you moving forward from this reading. But what I'm sensing here is definitely a separation happening, okay? And for some of you, that could very well be like personal separation, right? Like leaving a job, leaving a relationship, leaving a group of friends behind, or like abusive relationship. Again, that could be with friends, with parents, siblings, family, partner, right? That is no longer serving you. So it's sort of like a breakup of sorts, right? But this is for the best, even though sometimes breakups can be hard, can be a little bit sad. Again, and for sort of the bigger picture here, it's for the best. So an ending of sorts, cutting off ties with that which no longer serves you, and kind of removing that energy from your life. Okay, I'm hearing that for many of you, it's been an energy that's been quite toxic. Okay, and it's part, if definitely not all of it, but it's part of why there's this darkness happening. And I feel it makes sense when we think of dark night of the soul, because it's a time in our life where our current understanding of what's stable, what our expectations are of our life is being challenged. Okay, it's being shifted. You know, when it's making us question our identity and our role in our current situation, in our current reality. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for some people it can be like a health scare, right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, I just found out that I'm diagnosed with whatever medical condition, you know, and there are some things I'll need to change in my lifestyle so that I can get better and stay healthy, you know. For some people, it could be a realization about a relationship, right? It could be that you caught your partner cheating or something like that, or you know, it was the final straw with your partner being mean, uncaring, dismissive of you, you know, that kind of thing. Or even a family member or a friend, right? It's like that final straw where you're like, wow, I have really been putting up with this for quite a while, and I thought that it was just temporary, or I thought you could change and you're not. And now I'm really feeling super crappy and I can't shake that off, and it's time for me to leave because you're not changing anytime soon. So I need to remove myself from that situation, you know, and that can even be like a work thing, actually, as I'm saying that. But what's so beautiful is, so the tankard, it says celebration, fun, and enjoyment on the bottom. And then what came out right after that. So here, let me show you the tankard. Celebration, fun, enjoyment. And then the crown, honor and respect will come to you. So I feel like for many of you, again, there have been people in your life that have brought you into like a very dark space, that maybe have been affecting your self-esteem and sense of self-worth, right? They could have been abusive, whether physically, verbally, or emotionally abusive, and you have been sort of putting up with it in a way, or just allowing it or tolerating it or staying within that situation. And I'm not judging. Please don't think that, but I'm not judging in any way. You know, sometimes when you're in the thick of things, you can't see the bigger picture, right? You know, I don't know about you, but I've been in positions where, I've given people my opinion or advice when they've asked for it, sometimes when they haven't, which I'm better at now, um, for their situation. But when I reflected, I realized I'm kind of in a very similar situation myself, and it's like I need to follow my own advice. Do you know what I'm saying? And so um, I fully get how sometimes when you're an actor in the play, you kind of lose track of the plot and the moral lessons here and what you need to be doing for yourself, for your health, for your well being. Okay? So, again, no judgment, but sometimes it's really hard for us when we're in the thick of things to get out of it, you know? But I'm seeing that many of you, once you step out into this light, then um, you will be drawing people in who honor and respect you, who treat you right. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of time, because everything's a process. Everything kind of comes in phases. So there has to be this separation first to make space for these good, loving, nourishing, I'm hearing, people to come into your life, okay, that are more in resonance and more aligned with who you are and can love and respect you the way you deserve. Um, I'm seeing here that there is a little bit of worry coming through because we have the kangaroo and the purse talking about like managing and watching your finances, feeling like you need to plan ahead, okay? So there is going to be a little bit of worry as you cut ties about like what the future holds for you. And I feel like with this dolphin, there's this energy of freedom and trust that's coming in. Dolphins are very playful creatures by nature, and they get to explore the vast ocean. Like the ocean is what 75% of the Earth. So they have this huge area in which they get to explore and be a part of, which can be exciting in some ways, where like the future and what you can experience feels very limitless, right? It's very open and broad, but there's this fear about it because it's also the unknown. It's the unfamiliar. And so I feel like your guides and spirit universe is letting you know that yes, change is very uncomfortable, and a lot of people choose to stay in a very uncomfortable situation just because it's familiar to them, just because it's predictable, and in a way it's comfortable. But what Spirit is saying is, this shift, this change is long overdue. And to embrace this discomfort and know that just because it's uncomfortable now doesn't mean it's not going to feel amazing and beautiful and wonderful down the line. Okay? It's kind of like when you first start exercising after you've been pretty sedentary for a while, like your muscles ache a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It feels a little bit uncomfortable. You feel like so out of shape, and it can be very discouraging to keep on with your exercise plan because you're like, oh, like this is too hard and I feel so sore and whatever. It's so much easier to just like sit back on the couch and watch Netflix rather than like force myself to go out for a walk or go to the dance class or go swimming at the pool, whatever your physical exercise is. But if you just stick with it, it will get easier and it will feel more and more comfortable and it will be beneficial. Okay, you just might not notice or feel the benefits right away as you make this transition. But Spirit again is saying there's this light at the end of the tunnel here and you are moving towards it. So let's get some tarot cards as well to receive more messages from Spirit about this beautiful change, this beautiful shift, this cutting of ties with old, maybe like lower vibrational negative energies, and this sort of welcoming and embracing of these newer energies. Okay, so you have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so leaving something behind. And there's what I love about tarot is, yes, there's traditional meanings of the cards, but if you trust your instinct, trust your gut as you interpret the images. They also have very minute differences in the meanings per reading and with whatever it is you're asking. And so, what I'm seeing here in this particular storyline on this card is we have these two figures here that are kind of dressed in like a cloak in almost what looks like rags, and it looks like they're walking away from this building that looks warm, that looks safe, and they're going out into the unknown, into the darkness, because you can tell it's like dark, right? And because they have the torches on and whatever. And so, when you're leaving something familiar and known to you, just like the light illuminates so you can see what's in the room, right? Because of the light. You can see the situation because you're familiar with it. But when you step out into the unknown, it's very dark. You don't know what lies ahead exactly, right? Everything is so new that it feels a little bit scary, and you see these people like kind of wrapping themselves, trying to protect themselves in whatever way they can. And I feel like this is representative of where you're moving towards the unknown, the unfamiliar, the uncomfortable. But it's time, okay? You've gotten what you needed from this situation, and now it's just taking from you, all right? We have the Hierophant here. We also have the Five of Swords, the Hanged Man, the Ace of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Yes. So, just like I was saying, it's time. It's time for some of you, it might even be long overdue for you to sort of break out on your own, do your own thing, and separate from this person or people who have again been a bit of a negative energy, negative influence in your life. And I'm hearing that there's going to be a period of being solo, being alone, of maybe solitude, as you start to clear out some of this old programming, old beliefs, old mentality about who you are, what you deserve, what you're worth, and start to tune in to the truth of who you are as a divine being, worthy of love and respect. And so there's this period of time that I'm hearing from Spirit where you need to like kind of cleanse, okay? Where you kind of need to cocoon yourself and not welcome in all these other energies in, where it's like, okay, I need to separate from this relationship. It's kind of like, here's an example. It's like you are dating someone or you're married to someone who's, again, not a good match for you. Maybe they're abusive in some way. Like, once you separate with them, that doesn't mean like go out immediately and find a new partner, find a new person to date. Like, you need to have this period in between where you get to process your feelings, process your emotions, figure out like what is it that you want without immediately getting in a relationship with someone else and having to negotiate between having your needs met and having their needs met. You know what I'm saying? It's best, I feel personally, this is just my opinion, not necessarily from Spirit, so a little disclaimer there. I feel it's best for you to have that alone time to kind of do a check-in with yourself. Like, who am I now? What is it that I truly want? Because it might not be the same as what you wanted and desired before, And I think it's important that you honor that before you get into a relationship with someone else, like enter this sort of energetic contract, if you will, with another person, without knowing what you want, because then it subjects you to being overwhelmed or being influenced by what they want, which may not be in the long run good for you. And that's why some people kind of get into these repetitive patterns where they keep getting into relationships that are not healthy. It's because they don't have that time to themselves to really strengthen their desires, their identity, and identify their wants and their needs and their boundaries, right? And then that's how we get in these codependent situations type of thing. But, what I'm seeing here with the Hierophant is like you needing to become your own inner authority, right? Kind of being the boss of your life and saying, this is what I'm worth, this is what I deserve, and if you're not bringing that to the table, then move right along, honey. Move right along, because I'm not putting up with nonsense anymore. And we have this Hanged Man, right? Seeing things from a different perspective, and being at peace with being alone, right? And to discover who you are and what your wants and needs are before moving forward. Again, there is a new beginning coming here for you with this Ace of Cups. Okay, new relationships are coming in, but it's very important for you to be very solid, be very strong in who you are, your identity, and your energy, so that it's not easily taken over or sort of conquered or overwhelmed by other people's energies, right? And that you can still kind of stay true to yourself throughout that whole process. So yeah, long overdue. That light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Things are going to get better. And you will be able to attract the type of people in your life that are healthy for you, that will be there for you, that will love and respect you, and will be a good influence for you. But you need to take that time on your own first to reconnect with who you are, that divine being within, that divine spirit within, okay? And let that energy shine so it can attract the people that resonate with it. Does that make sense, loves? I hope so. Please comment down below if this reading resonated with you. Give it a little heart. Let me know, pile 3. I'm ready for that new beginning. I'm ready for that to be in the light at the end of the tunnel. So comment that down below. I'm sending you all the love, all the best wishes your way. And if you enjoyed your reading, please don't forget to hit that like button. I would truly appreciate that. And if you enjoy my readings, please subscribe to this channel and turn the notifications on, of course, so that you can be notified the next time I post a new reading just for you all. All right, take care. And remember, you deserve love, always. I'll see you next time.